I just don't understand why he didn't tell us that he was going out of town. Well, we're expecting some kind of feedback on the hospital ship idea, aren't we? But nothing else that we can do. All we can do is just sit and wait. I'll tell you, though, what I've done in the meantime. I've made a list of all the medical supplies and everything that we're going to be doing on the ship. So we'll be ready for our partner when he comes back. I can't talk to you anymore right now. I'll see you later, okay? Yeah, bye.
Oh, what was that all about?
Oh, just a little private conversation.
Oh, a private conversation? Well, excuse me.
Well, you don't know everything that's going on in my life, do you?
My, aren't we defensive? What's wrong? You botched something else up again that you don't want me to know about?
I haven't botched anything up.
No need to be so uptight, Alan. I know all the signs, the furtive phone calls, trying to keep me from finding out whatever it is you fouled up on.
For your information, I am involved in a very big business coup.
Yep, so you've been hinting.
Mm-hmm. And that is all I'm going to tell you.
Afraid it won't pan out?
Afraid it will.
Tell me, who is this partner that you're banking on?
Oh, you heard.
I heard.
Mm-hmm. And that's all you're going to hear.
Alan, you're a doctor, not a businessman. Now, whatever this is, why don't you let me handle it for you?
Because I can handle this one for myself.
You don't have a head for deals.
I do for this one.
Stick to doctoring.
I am.
Would you like to explain that?
No.
Well, tell me one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is this for or against me?
What do you mean?
Just exactly what I said. This deal you're working on. Is it going to hurt me?
I'd never do anything to hurt you. How can you ask that?
With a son like Jimmy Lee, I ask.
You can't compare me to Jimmy Lee.
Oh, can't I? Here you are getting involved in a business deal behind my back just the same way he did.
I assure you it is not the same thing.
Well, I hope not. Whatever it is, I hope it doesn't have Donnelly's name on it. It's bad enough that Jimmy Lee got his hooks into him. Between the two of you, you're going to foul up any opportunity I might have had for a lucrative business deal with a man. Well, I'll have to make another big business deal, Alan.
You know something? You may be laughing now, but it's going to be me who will have the last laugh.
Where are you going?
I'm going to buy Monica a Valentine's Day gift.
Good Lord, it can't be Valentine's Day already.
February 14th?
Well, I suppose I should get one for Lila, too.
You know what? You should buy someone a present because you want to, not because you have to.
Well, Alan, I want to get her a present. Just as much as you want to get one for Monica. Look, you know, just because we don't really want to get one doesn't mean we don't love them. Good Lord, will you stop doing things out of guilt?
I'm not.
Yeah?
I'm not.
It seems to me like you are.
Miss Sharp,
You've got to help me. I have nowhere else to turn.
What's happened, Lorena?
Jimmy Lee kicked me out.
He kicked you out?
That's right. I came home, my bags were packed, he told me to leave.
Well, believe me, you're better off without him, my dear. Everybody knows he's a louse.
Well, what am I going to do?
Well, you're perfectly welcome to use the phone.
Phone? For what?
To call a hotel.
I can't go to a hotel. I can't be alone right now. I'm much too upset.
Well, we can't stay here with you. We're both on our way out.
Oh, I should have known better than to expect anything from you two. Where's Monica?
What do you want to see her for?
She's my cousin. I'm upset. I want to talk.
Monica's not here. She's at the hospital. She won't be home until late.
Yeah, very late. You might just as well go to the hotel.
Hotel? She's going to a hotel.
Oh, Monica, please, can I stay here?
Here? Why? What's happened?
Jimmy Lee gave her the boot.
What do you mean, he kicked you out?
It's terrible, Monica. What am I going to do?
Well, you're going to stay here. That's what you're going to do.
What do you mean? I'm never going to forgive him for this. Never.
Would you just tell me what happened, please?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I found out about Celia and his little secret. That's what happened.
His secret, did you say? Well, come right in, Lorena. Alan, why don't you fix her a drink? I'm sure you can use one, my dear. Come on now, just sit down here. Let me take your coat, darling. You sit down and tell old Uncle Eddie all about it,
Getting off the New York shuttle together.
Oh, that just confirms what I was saying to Alan and Monica a while ago.
Now, maybe or maybe not, Edward. I mean, the fact that they were on the shuttle together could have been a coincidence.
Oh, and I suppose the smug, contented look on their faces was out of coincidence, too.
Why didn't you confront them?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't. But I did the next best thing. I told Grant.
You told Grant?
Oh, that's right. I told him he better keep his wife away from Jimmy Lee if he knew what was good for himself and his marriage.
What did he say?
Well, he acted like he didn't believe me at first, but he believes me now. I told him the rest of it.
Are you saying that he's seeing her in New York on a regular basis?
Oh, he flies down there every time she's there.
Was there any other evidence?
I don't know how much more you'd want. He kicked me out of the house.
Maybe he just got tired of you, Lorena.
Word.
Just a passing thought.
He wanted me out of the way so he could move her in with him.
She's actually moved in with him?
Well, not yet, but just you wait.
No, wait a minute, Lorena. I'm not sure that's going to happen. I mean, Grant is still in the picture here.
Jimmy Lee has a hell of a lot more money than Grant.
Edward, I mean it.
Well, Celia's, after all, a Quartermain.
How could he do this to me? I was with him through everything.
Well, I am very surprised, Lorena, that it's taken you this long to discover that men are basically rotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go?
You are going to stay here. That's what you're going to do.
Here?
Yes, of
Yes.
course. I mean, your family, Lorena. Family has to stick together.
Now, come on. Let's get settled. Come on.
Just run along, darling.
What did you do that for?
Because I have a plan. One that fits in very nicely with Celia's little indiscretion. This is just what I have been waiting for. No, boy, wait till I pull this. You better get Stella to get this luggage up.
The luggage? Oh, I'll take care of it. You go on ahead. Okay. I'll be right behind you. Bye.
Monica, I've been thinking.
Congratulations.
Don't be flip with me, my dear. This is very serious.
Flip with you? A Ferris's thought, Edward. What scheme have you concocted now?
I don't concoct.
I'm sorry.
I am, however, deeply disturbed over this possible palimony suit that your cousin could be bringing against Jimmy Lee.
Well, I'm surprised at that. I would have thought if Lorena could have him flogged in the town square, you'd be there selling tickets.
Well, obviously, there's no love lost between me and Jimmy Lee. In fact, if it were up to me, I'd have him drawn and quartered.
So what are you objecting to the fact that Lorena wants to haul him into court and maybe get a bundle?
Well, as usual, Monica, you haven't thought this thing through.
Wait just a minute, Edward. Not as usual. Maybe because the fact I have a cold, I haven't thought it out completely and very carefully.
Where Jimmy Lee is concerned, we cannot afford to slip up. All of this family must constantly be one jump ahead.
Well, maybe that's my problem.
What?
I am tired, Edward. I really am tired. I'm tired of having to jump endlessly, perpetually, every time Jimmy Lee's name is mentioned or anyone involved with him even comes within breathing distance.
Well, unfortunately, that's our sad lot in life.
The court remains burden.
You know, it's a good thing for all of you that I am still able to go the distance. Are you with me?
Weary though I may be.
Lorena's palimony suit would be an unmitigated disaster, and I mean for all of us.
Why?
Well, if the suit ever goes to court, you can be sure Lorena's going to make it known that Jimmy Lee is worth $20 million.
Our $20 million.
Yes, exactly. And you can also be sure that some crooked lawyer is going to make Jimmy Lee explain that we paid him the $20 million because he threatened to expose the fact that Lila was never divorced from her first husband. Then this whole mess is out in the open again.
Well, I never thought of that.
Well, I did. And once this is out in the open, every Quartermain heir is going to be declared illegitimate. We'd lose out on every last cent of the family estate.
Well, may I be the first to say, Edward, that when you do call a disaster, you are right.
Well, of course I'm right. We could be totally ruined.
Wait a minute. Wait just one moment. You were forgetting something.
That's highly unlikely. What?
Well, the proof that Jimmy Lee has about Lila never being divorced happens to be a Bible page. or was a Bible page. You got that page, and you happened to burn it right here in this very room. Are you following me, Edward? He doesn't have any proof.
I'm not only following you, Monica. I am way ahead. Will you please think for a moment?
I'm trying to.
Well, obviously, it's going to come out that Jimmy Lee has $20 million and that I gave it to him.
We gave it to him.
All right, I. What difference does it make? Don't you think somebody's going to want to know why I gave him that much money?
Who cares? All you have to do is say that you gave it to him as a gift for being a loving son.
Ah, don't be ridiculous. You honestly think that anybody's going to believe I willingly gave him $20 million just out of the goodness of my heart?
Never.
Well, of course not. It's crystal clear I had a reason. And a very good reason and a desperate reason. Why, the $20 million in itself is proof that he had us over the barrel. And what was the barrel?
The Bible page. But if nobody finds out, nobody can find out. Unless Celia blabs.
And you can count on it.
Oh, boy.
And what does that page prove? That Lila was never divorced.
And if Celia does blab, then Edgar goes ahead with the terms in his will,
and we are stripped of our inheritance. Out on the street. All of us living on nothing except those paychecks that you and Alan bring home from the hospital. Then when you're both too old and decrepit to practice medicine any longer, well, we can just...
Edward, you don't have to go any further. I see the future very clearly.
Well, then you must see my point. There cannot be any palimony suit. Lorena has got to be stopped. Cold.